4 knights rode to Canterbury Cathedral on a cold December evening in 1170. They had swords. They had a purpose. What they did not have was an actual royal order to kill. Thomas Becket and King Henry II had once been the closest of friends, almost inseparable. Henry had appointed Becket as Archbishop of Canterbury in 1162, confident that his loyal chancellor would help him extend royal authority over the English Church. Instead, something changed in Becket the moment he put on the archbishop's robes. He became fiercely independent. He championed the Church's right to govern its own clergy, to answer to Rome rather than Winchester. What Henry had intended as a political appointment became a 7-year war of wills. By December 1170, the conflict had reached a breaking point. Becket had excommunicated bishops who sided with the king. Henry, furious, reportedly erupted in front of his court. "Will no one rid me of this turbulent priest?" Though the exact words have been disputed for 8 centuries, the sense of it, at least, was clear enough. 4 knights, Reginald Fitz-Urse, Hugh de Morville, William de Tracy, Richard le Breton, took the words literally. They rode to Canterbury without any definitive royal instruction, found Becket in the cathedral, and cut him down at the altar. They struck so hard they sheared off the top of his skull. A monk who witnessed it described the brains scattered across the stone floor. Henry had not ordered this. The evidence is clear enough. His grief and panic in the aftermath were genuine. He understood immediately what had happened and what it would cost him. A king's careless words had murdered an archbishop on sacred ground. In the eyes of the Church, of the Pope, of every Christian monarch in Europe, Henry II bore responsibility. Becket was declared a martyr within days. The speed was almost instant. The cult of St. Thomas of Canterbury began forming before his blood had dried on the cathedral floor. Within 2 years, Pope Alexander III canonized him. Canterbury became one of the most visited pilgrimage sites in all of Christendom. The very spot where Becket fell became holy ground. For Henry, the reckoning was humiliating in a way that no English king had endured since the conquest. In 1174, he walked barefoot through the streets of Canterbury in sackcloth, knelt at Becket's tomb, and submitted himself to be flogged by monks, 80 strokes from the assembled clergy of Canterbury Cathedral. The most powerful king in Europe, weeping, bleeding, on his knees before the grave of the man his words had killed. But the consequences went deeper than royal embarrassment. The murder forced a permanent recalibration of the relationship between church and crown in England. Henry had wanted to bring the clergy under royal courts, to end the system by which priests accused of crimes could claim benefit of clergy and be tried only by church courts, where punishments were far lighter. After Becket, that battle was effectively over. The Church retained its juridical independence for another 350 years. The ripples kept spreading. The conflict between Henry and Becket established precedents about the limits of royal power over religious institutions that shaped English law for centuries. It planted seeds that Magna Carta would grow from in 1215. It framed debates that would erupt again under Henry VIII when the English Reformation finally broke the tie to Rome. One king's outburst, 4 knights who heard permission where none was given, an archbishop who chose martyrdom over compromise. Every pilgrim who walked the road to Canterbury for the next 400 years, including, famously, Geoffrey Chaucer's pilgrims, was walking toward the place where a careless sentence changed the course of English history.